it is time to go on to the questions part of the show. So, for those who don't know, you can ask me questions by a variety of ways. You can ask me on social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or GRAX'S Bishop. Just ask me the question. Or you can go to my questions page at curiouscat.me/GRAX'S Bishop, and you ask those questions anonymously, which is a good way to ask me questions if you're a little bit embarrassed about me embarrassing you. So the first question, I've actually got a couple of questions on Twitter, so I'm going to answer those first, just so I don't forget. Let's see. So let's see. The first question, which came to me on Thursday, comes from John Dredge. At John Dredge. And he asks, 2 days ago, what's the tallest tree in the world? Well, I think that's a fantastic question. And kind of makes me wish I knew the answer. But I know someone who might know the answer, my friends. Hey, Google. What's the tallest tree in the world?
Redwoods. Here's a summary from Live Science. The tallest trees in the world are redwoods. These trees can easily reach heights of 300 feet. Among the redwoods, a tree named Hyperion dwarfs them all.
Hey, Google. Thanks, Google.
I'm happy to help.
There you go. I hope that answers your John. I hope that answers your question, John. I think there are some follow-ups, which includes at RGProd, and he says, and where? Also when? I hope that answers those questions as well. I'm not sure about the when part, though. So, next question up is, let's ask this one. Becky, which is at Umbogo, which is UMB0G0. Given how precipitation works, how come it never rains tiny fish? Why does it never rain tiny fish? That is an interesting question. I'm guessing it's because tiny little fish are a little bit too heavy. A little bit too heavy to be sucked up by the winds, to go in the clouds, to be raining little fishes. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm just watching myself on the TV right now, and I'm loving watching myself at 60 frames per second. It's delicious, utterly delicious. If you haven't, so change your settings to be at 60 frames per second. Delicious, 60 frames per second. So that's what I think. It's because they're too heavy to be picked up by the clouds. However, that can't be true. That can't quite be true, because there are written down documented cases of frogs being picked up and dropped from one area to the next. There are stories of raining frogs. So I think it's because the little fishes are a little bit more slippier, a little bit more slippery than a tiny frog. I hope that answers your question. Let's see, any other questions on the old Twitter? Because if there are no more questions on Twitter, then I can go on to curiouscat.me/GRAX'S to find out what questions I should answer. So there is this question here from, not anonymous on curiouscat.me, but Superintendent Peter Petersons. There is only one S in Peterson. And he asked me the following question. He asked me 2 days ago, for £1 million, would you eat a baby panda live on YouTube? The panda would be humanely put to sleep and would not suffer. You will be protected from any physical or verbal abuse in the real world, but your social media accounts just remain active, and you have to check them in line with the frequency you do now. Okay, I'm going to consult an expert on this, because there is one important question I need to ask related to pandas. Pandas, is it illegal to eat them? Would I get into China trouble if I ate a panda? I would be killed. Right. Okay. I'm glad I asked that question, because I thought I heard something about that, because pandas are quite rare, and I think they are a national treasure, and I suspect that they generate a good chunk of income for the country of China. So if I ate one, I would I would be so dead. So dead. So I'm going to assume that no, I'm not going to eat a panda, even if it's dead, even if it's humanely killed, because I'm just going to consult the expert again. It's dead, but I will still get in trouble, right? It's morally wrong. Forget about morals. Don't look at me like that. But I imagine it would just be like, yeah, it's still sentenced to death. So I don't. Big Grax in Little China. That's going to happen. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. I should go back into the old vlog. Yeah, I'm going to go to China. I'm going to China in October to meet my girlfriend's parents and spend a lovely time in China. So, yeah, it will be Big China. No, Big Grax in Little China. Oh. I better start saving my money, actually, because I'm going to buy all the tech, including a new laptop. But that's a different story. We're going to go back into this. So I hope that answered your question, Peter Peterson. So let's go and go and go. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, hang on. It's acting weird. Is it because I got a desktop view? It's because I got a desktop view. That's not what I want. Okay, Anon asks 27 minutes ago, ever played Doom, Quake, or GoldenEye? Yes to all three. I have played Doom, the original Doom. I've played the original Quake, although I'm more of a fan of Quake 2. And I have played GoldenEye. I used to have GoldenEye, and it was one of those fun activities of bringing friends over with my N64, 4 controllers, split screen on a small TV, and good memories. I also had some good fun times with Turok 2. That game where you actually needed to buy an expansion pack for the N64, which is interesting. So yeah, I have. Let's go back in time. Let's go far, far back in time. Okay, so Anon asks on the 27th of January. Yes, okay. Some of these questions are actually very, very old. I apologize. And I might also repeat some of these questions. If I do, I apologize. Marvel Comics asked you to create a new character for a 6-issue miniseries. Here is it. 6-issue miniseries. Who is it? And what, if anything, can they do? Right. 6-issue miniseries of Marvel Comics, which is interesting because Marvel Comics and DC Comics are trying whatever they can to stay afloat. I hear tell that it's actually a money-losing business still in comics, which is akin to the near collapse of comic books in the 90s. But to answer the 6 miniseries, I would create a mutant, not an inhuman because they're rubbish. I would create a mutant, and he would have the power to heal people by semen. That's right. He has magic semen where he has sex with someone, he ejaculates inside them, or they can drink it, and they are magically healed of any and all ailments. They are perfect, and he'll be completely average, normal looking, normal build, and all that kind of stuff. All intents and purposes, he's human, except his ejaculation, his semen, is magical and is healing. The downside to this is he is sterile. For all intents and purposes, he's sterile, and he can't have children. Don't heal me. That's something to say. I hope your girlfriend's parents aren't watching. That's fine. They don't speak English yet. And the superhero's name would be the Mystic Seaman. Yes, that'll do. Marvel Comics, give me a call whenever you're free. I think we can develop this idea, and I want half the income from this idea. Thank you very much. Copyright Grax Bishop. Thank you. I hope that answers your question. Next question. Anon asked on the 27th of January, what questions you really want us to ask, so you can talk about it. Okay. How can we financially support you, Grax Bishop? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's the kind of question I can ask. Well, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. You can promote my stuff. You can pay me on PayPal, paypal.me/Grax Bishop. You can go to my Patreon account. Oh, like, yeah, that's the kind of question. I hope that answers your question. Next question. Anon asked on the 28th of January, the best thing you've bought off eBay. The best thing I bought off eBay. Just trying to think what I did. I think one of the best things I bought off eBay was a little neck scarf thing where it's got a picture of a cyber wolf on it, and that was a present for my nephew. Hang on, just got a message from over and over 88. V says, "I'll damn heal you to support you." Lol. Huh. I see. What's that? You're doing some gestures over there. It looks like she's trying to explain to me what that meant. So yeah. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good question I want to answer. Anon asks on the 17th of Feb, Shaun the Sheep versus Gromit. Which is better? For me, Gromit is the best one. And for those who don't know, we're talking about Wallace and Gromit fame. Both products are created from Aardvark Animations, Aardvark Studios. And they're little claymation animations, which is very near and dear to us, to our British hearts. Aardman, thank you, Aardman. That's the name of the production company that makes these claymation animations. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animation. But yeah, Gromit is the best. Not only is he my favourite, he's also the most intelligent. He's the strongest. And who cares about Shaun? All right, let's go forward in time. Let's go forward in time and say, Anon asked 38 minutes ago, will you start the stream on time for once? Yes, I did. Boom, selector. Next question. What do you want for your upcoming birthday? Says Anon 3 hours ago. Amazon wishlist. Go to bit.ly/GRAX'S wishlist and you will be able to find all the things that you could potentially buy me for my birthday, which is on June the 29th. Let's see. Anon asked 3 hours ago, do you love your girlfriend and how much? Yes, I love my girlfriend and I love her this much. It's so big. It's so big, it goes beyond these four walls, this small space. My love is greater than this screen. Okay, so there's that one. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Next question. Anon asks on the 17th of Feb, you get the chance to have one celebrity shit on your chest. Only one. You only get to pick one. Who would you pick? One celebrity. One celebrity to take a shit on my chest. Anyone in the world, who would I want to take a shit on my chest? This is an important question. I'm going to assume it's a good solid lump. I'm not talking diarrhea. I'm not talking runny. I'm going to assume it's a nice solid lump that comes out. I'm going to say... that's a good point. Very important. You'll see their private parts for once. So yes, that's a very excellent point. I'm going to say... Two people that comes to my mind. I'm going to say Scarlett Johansson. Because once she takes a shit on my chest, I'm going to demand that we go out for a drink afterwards. So I could actually find out something about her. So I could actually talk to her and get to know her. Because I don't rate her as an actress at all. But I'm so... Because I so don't like her as an actress, I'm interested in what she's like as a person. So if you take a shit on my chest, that gives me a free pass to talk to her. Oh wait, no, hang on. What about you guys? Maybe you could help me out. I've said Scarlett Johansson, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. The other one would be Eva Green, but I don't know. There's something pure about that. I don't want that to be ruined. But what would you suggest? Well, who would you suggest taking the shit on my hairy chest? Which is, hang on. Do you see that? Do you see that bit of fuzz? Yeah, that when it lands on my chest, it's not coming out easily, which is why I needed the shit to be solid. So any suggestions in the chat below, or leave them in the comment section down below. Who do you think I should get to take a shit on my chest? I have to be a celebrity. Not Michael McIntyre. He would be so annoying. He would keep going, oh, I'm taking a little shit. I'm taking a little shit on the poop on a little chest right there. And just like do a dance and flail around like an idiot. The Queen Elizabeth II's not a celebrity. Come on. Right. Anon asks the 17th of Feb, how many cotton wool balls can you tuck under your foreskin? Brian Blessed, that's an interesting idea. Here's an interesting thing about my foreskin. It's quite long. I've been told that my foreskin is quite long. So in theory, I could store quite a lot of cotton. Well, actually, that's a good question. How big are these cotton balls? Are we talking this big? Are we talking this big? Are we talking this big? That's an interesting question. I'm thinking that perhaps... Let's make an assumption. If it's about the size of 10 pence piece, which is about a quarter, a US quarter, cotton bud size of balls. All right, V, you got to be a bit more specific. What size balls? What size balls are we talking about? Are we talking testicle balls? Are we talking beach balls? Hang on, she's just... Hang on, something's happening. Hang on, what's going on? Oh, those things are tiny! Alright, so, thank you. Look at these little cotton earbuds. So what we could do is we could just take them off. We'll assume they're this big. I could fit... Let's see. Let's just take a look at this. If I do this... No, don't take a picture of it! If I do this, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to say... Stream magic. I'm going to say 20 of these. 20 of these little bitty balls can fit in under my foreskin or in my foreskin, whatever it is. This is going to be a YouTube video in a week, isn't it? Yes, it is. Fortunately, you didn't see anything important. So I'm going to say 20. And all asks the 17th of Feb, churros are great, aren't they? Yes, they are. I mean, there's nothing to them. They're just donuts. Except rather than being in a ring, they're just in a straight line, covered in sugar. I think they're great, and they're very, very tasty. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Anon asks, on the 17th of Feb, what's your favourite? Who's your favourite? Good. What's my favourite? My girlfriend. Who's my favourite? My girlfriend. I think that's good answers. Look at that. Oh, look at that face. It's so cute. Right, okay. Okay, I'm not even... Yeah, let's see. I just bought a new house. What's the first thing I should buy? Do you have a bed? Anon, who asked this question on the 22nd of March. Do you have a bed? Or do you have a mattress? If you don't, I suggest you have these things because having a good sleep... That's something I'm going to need to do when I move into my flat. I need to buy a bed. If you guys can recommend me a good bed, that would be great. Just send me a message on DMs or even on the chat if you want to. So I would say a bed. If you've got a bed... a TV, and then something to connect your TV to the internet. These are good things to buy. I think these are good things to buy. Let's go forward in time. Let's see. Anon asks on the 11th of April, the biggest poo you have eaten. I've not eaten poo. All right, I'm just going to put it out there. I've not eaten poo. Don't eat poo. I've tasted my own piss. I haven't tasted my own poo. I'm not drinking poo. I'm not eating poo either. Let's see. Anon asks on the 26th of March, what would your ideal dinner be? All right. How about this childhood dinner? This childhood dinner. That didn't come out right. That sounds like I eat children. I don't eat children. This dinner I used to have when I was a kid was like it's kind of like a chili or a spaghetti bolognese So, but instead of spaghetti, instead of rice, you have mashed potatoes. And the ingredients of the Bolognese would be mince, baked beans, Worcester sauce, and get it into like a Bolognese, and then I would mix it all up into like a big mashy, mincy mess, and then I would like play with it and turn it into like a castle and things like that. Just shovel it in my face, which is weird because when I eat dinners, I usually eat the ingredients separately. So, for example, spaghetti bolognese. So you get the the bolognese mincemeat on top of the spaghetti. I would eat the mince first and then eat the spaghetti separate. I wouldn't mix it up. I just like to eat things separately. But this minced beans and mashed potatoes would be the exception to the rule. So that would be my ideal dinner. It's simple, but it's something from my childhood. Which leads to the next question, actually. Where is it? I saw it. Anon asks 4 hours ago, how can you eat spaghetti bolognese separately of spaghetti and the sauce? I just like the taste. I like my food separate. I just do. I don't mind the fact that they're all mixed together, but I truly believe that you should be able to taste the individual ingredients, and they should be components, and they should have the strength to stand out on their own. So yeah, I'm just going to get up here a little bit. Let's see. Thank you for those questions. I got a load more. You know what time is it? 20 to 9. Let's see if I can plow through as many of these things as you can. Let's go. Let's kick it to high gear. And on us on the 17th of Feb. Birmingham. What's up with that then? I think it's all right. Birmingham's quite nice. I watched a wrestling show there once with Michael Bell and Tom Hodkinson. That was good fun. We should do that again sometime. 17th of Feb. And on asks, are you any good at cleaning ovens? Want to pop over? No and no. I mean, cleaning oven is fine. You just get one of those high-strength chemical stuff, which is poisonous to the environment. You gloop it all in. You put in your rack, seal it up, and let the chemicals do their work. But it's not very environmentally friendly. And no, I don't like cleaning other people's stuff. So, no and no. And on our 17th of Feb, would you have sex with 1990s Angus Young or 2010 Angus Young? And of course, Angus Young is famous because he is the... Well, who is he actually? He's the lead singer. He's the lead guitarist, for the metal band, rock and roll band, AC/DC. He was a phenomenal guitarist. I once saw him live at the Download Festival, which is actually coming up next week. I'm sure we're not going. But I watched him once, and he was an old man. And I distinctly remember this because AC/DC then, which was about, 6 years ago, I think. It was around that time. I watched AC/DC, and they looked like old men. They all looked like old men who were just coming out of their old people's home, stuttering and scared. They didn't know what was going on. They had the look of panic around their face. But of course, they could play the guitars and sing because it's muscle memory at this point. But Angus, my God, he was crazy wild. He did like a 15-minute guitar solo all by himself, just like playing around and rolling around on the floor, and it was actually incredible. And I deeply respect that man. But to answer your question, I would go for the old 1990s Angus Young because, you know what, call me ageist, but that's a bit too old for me. Bit too old. 2010, that would make him what? 160 years old? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Anon asks the 22nd of March, favourite band? I can't answer that question because there's not one band. There's so many bands I like, and the list just grows and grows and grows. Just to name a few off the top of my head, it includes Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, Faith No More, Leah Morachi. It's really hard because his name is Italian. His surname's Italian. Who else? Nemec, when they were a thing, which is a shame they're no longer a thing. Static X, and Rob Scallon. He's a YouTuber, plays music. I'm kind of into Disrage, but I only like one of their albums. Who else? Little V's pretty cool. And there's just so many different metal bands I like. I also like Richard Cheese. I also like Jamie Cullum. I also like some of the old fine jazzy kind of musics. And who else? I like... I was about to say I like Neil Buchanan, but he plays he was the guy who does Art Attack. Fun fact, after he did Art Attack, Neil Buchanan... He's in a band, and he's actually a really good guitarist, I think. Guitarist or bass guitarist, one of the two. He's a musician, which is really interesting. We should check him out. So yeah, too many to name. If I had to write, I know I asked the 22nd of March, if you had to write a sitcom, what would it be about? Right, this is not my idea. This is Michael Bell's idea. He told me a while back, and I am so in love with this idea. I do want to make it. I don't know how we would make it, but I do want to make it with him. He came up with the idea of stop me if you heard this before, but Michael Bell came up with the idea for either a TV show or a movie where it's a stand-up comedian who was great in like the yesteryear, but now he's all washed up. And he's like unable to get any gigs or any work. And then somehow he gets involved in a murder and it all goes wrong. And the only way for him to hide from the police and being caught out is for him to get back into the stand-up comedy routine and get back into the circuit. I really like this idea, and I would like us to write this idea together and film it and all that kind of stuff. Could it be a sitcom? Maybe. Anything can be made into a sitcom, but I just really am intrigued by this idea. So that's what I would like to do. What's the best thing you've done today? Sex. And also doing the stream. And playing Overcooked 2. And spending time with my girlfriend. Out of all these things, I would say spend time with my girlfriend. Aww. Because that means I have sex and play Overcooked 2. So I'm sorry, I was just rubbing it in. But these are things, that was the best thing I've done today. No one asks on the 22nd of March, what makes you happy? There's lots of things that makes me happy. There's the obvious stuff, but one of the things that actually genuinely makes me feel happy is the sense of progress. The feeling that I'm actually progressing in something. And the more I feel like I'm progressing, the more I want to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. I don't like things where I can't actually do it. If I get hard stuck and I can't progress any further, it doesn't make me feel happy. So, yeah, that's one of the things that makes me happy. Progress. Whatever that might be. And on Ask for the 24th of March, have I ever been reviewed? Me personally, no, I haven't. And I don't know how to do that with the current formats of things. I don't know if I can be reviewed on YouTube. If I was to release a podcast of some kind, I could get a podcast review there. That would be nice. When I did Raymond Bishop, I didn't get a review, which is a shame, really, because that would have been the prime example. But no, I don't think I have been reviewed as far as I know. Feel free to correct me, anybody in the chat. Okay. We're coming up to the home stretch, I believe, boys. We're coming up to the home stretch. And on us, the 9th of May. Do you know the way to San Jose? Let's see, where are we? Which way am I facing? I'm facing... That's south. That's north. So directly in front of me must be west. So it's that way over there. West. Just keep going west for about... If you're flying, I would say go west for about 1 20 hours, that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. If no, about 10, 15 hours. If it's 20 hours, you've gone too far. So go west, unless you're not in the UK. So Tom says, "Were you not reviewed as part of RG?" Yes, we were reviewed when we did live shows at Fringes, but yes, so we were reviewed as a group, but I personally wasn't reviewed as an individual. That's what I was getting at. Good question, Tom. Let's see. Done that one, done that one, done that one, done that one, done that one. It's not this time for once. Anon asks, 53 minutes ago, are there any questions from January you haven't answered? Not anymore, Sunny Jim. I think you're Sunny Jim, because I've answered them. Bang. Pretty sure I've answered them now. And the last question here is, what game is Grax playing next? Well, after my fun time with Super Seducer, I was actually thinking I should take advice from everybody else, like Pete, like Tom, like V. Namely, why don't you actually play a game that you actually enjoy? And I'm thinking, yeah, why not? I mean, I've got so many games. I purchased so many games over the years, and like 90% of them are for the purpose of entertainment. It's just to entertain people, whether they be good or bad. And I will get around to playing them, all 300 odd games. But yeah, I think I should play something which I think I would actually enjoy and have fun with, which is why next game I play will be Bloodborne on the PlayStation 4, because it seems like a really fun game and I like watching people do it, and it fills two criteria for streaming. One, it's a game I actually would like to play, and I believe I would actually find enjoyment out of it. And two, it would frustrate the fuck out of me in a good way, and that would be entertaining to watch, and I think it would be good YouTube fodder. So yeah, that'll be the next game. I'll play Bloodborne. I'll try and complete Bloodborne, although it might be quite tricky to keep it going on a regular weekly basis because of the flat move and because of Andy and Michael coming over. Like, for example, Andy and Michael are planning, this is a bit of a spoiler, Andy and Michael are planning to come over to my place on the third weekend of June to actually do some recording of this podcast we've been planning for weeks and weeks and weeks. So we've written some stuff. We probably need to review it again, but we're planning to record something. We're going to record a mini-series, something we've been talking about for a long time, and that's going to be recording a good chunk of it, and then we're planning to record another chunk of it in the next month or so, because all three of us are very, very busy guys. Me doing my thing, Andy doing his thing with Dredgeland, Michael Bauer doing his thing with the Kamikaze Club, and just generally life. I mean, he's moving out as well. He's finally moving out of Litchfield. He sold his place and he's moving on to TBC. As his tweet says, he's moving on to TBC. So yeah, what that means is I might not be streaming every week, but Bloodborne will be the next game I play for hopefully until I complete it or until I get bored and then move on to something else. Let's see. I believe that's all the questions I have here on curiouscat.me, and I believe that's all the questions that I have on Twitter as well. I mean, there's this question here which has been asked by Curious Cat itself, anonymously, is, have you ever been to a planetarium? And the answer is no, I haven't been into a planetarium. I've been to an aquarium, which I quite like, but not a planetarium. Which means I think that that's the end of this Q&A session for now. Which brings it up at a nice 1 hour. Well, actually, it's only been 50 minutes, but I think it's a good time to stop at as any thought in terms of the questions. And I think we can just hang out for a little bit. If there's any questions you would like to ask right now in the chat, now is the time for you to actually do it. Just flood the chat with as many questions as you can. Also, you can put them in the chat down below, in the comment section down below, if this is catching back up on YouTube, and I'll answer them as best I can. With that being said, I think that this is going to be an exciting couple month or two. Hopefully the next month will be exciting until the next edition of What's Going on GRAX'S. What's Bloodborne? It's made by the same people who have made Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It is an action fantasy game where you're going around cutting up all sorts of horrific creatures, from werewolves to crazed villagers to strange squid people, head type people. It's a really fast, it's really fast action, and you die a lot, and that's the whole point of it, because it's really hard. But I see it all the time, and it looks like a good amount of fun. Bloodborne is a good game. Over and over asks, why do you feel you have been belittled by your girlfriend? Because she keeps insulting me and pokes fun at my English, and just generally pokes fun at my weight, and she pokes fun at my fashion sense, and she thinks I'm a terrible lover, and she says I don't help her out, and she just makes her feel superior because she's got a tremendously small ego and low self-esteem, and she needs to insult. I'm joking. I'm just joking. None of these things are true. None of these things are true. I'm just playing it up for laughs. I need to be wearing a sarcastic hat at this point. I wish I had a sarcastic hat. Maybe I could put that on my wish list. Sarcastic hat. No, I don't feel like I've been belittled by my girlfriend yet. I'm joking. Right. So yeah, that is an interesting question. Let's see if there's anything going up. My phone is running out of power. Okay, so with that being said, I think that now is a good time to bring this edition of What's Going on GRAX'S, my monthly vlog and Q&A session, to a close. Thank you very much for watching my stream. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who watches this now or in the future. You guys give me the spirit and the energy to keep going.